Hi, this is Lance Hood with ArcFranchising.com, and today I want to introduce you to SeniorHelpers. SeniorHelpers is a national leader in professional in-home assistance services. Founded in Baltimore in 2001, they quickly built a reputation for providing the best in dependable, consistent, and affordable elderly care services. This opportunity is a mature brand with low initial investment, large territories, strong income, and an extremely experienced corporate support team, backed by state-of-the-art training for your staff and caregivers. Our guest speaker is Devin Hughes, the Franchise Development Manager for SeniorHelpers. Devin, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Lance. I really appreciate it.
What brought you to working with SeniorHelpers?
So, I've been in the franchise area for industry, I guess you could say, for 6+ years, and I actually worked on the operations side for a wide format signs and graphics company. And I looked at the space, and I went to outside sales for a period of time. And one thing was that I wanted to give back to folks, and I really wanted to be involved with an organization that was helping people. And so that's how I became involved with SeniorHelpers and franchise development. And, our main mission is to improve the quality of life for seniors and their family. And you can see once folks meet our leadership team that we're a very humble organization that's all about serving folks in the local community.
From your experience, why do most people go into franchising?
So it's the systems and processes, and so I'll use SeniorHelpers as an example, and I know we're going to get into more of the content of what SeniorHelpers provides, but we try and make programs and content for our franchisees that very much save them time and makes it so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. So programs like we have a caregiver university, and that has 700+ courses for caregivers. That includes all the orientation courses and training so caregivers can come on board with you, and it saves the owners massive amount of time in terms of training their staff. So that's just a good example of, the different things that we have put in place that helps our franchisees succeed. And, we've done this, like you had mentioned, 311 times. And so we've learned the space. We have a process that is successful. And what we tell our candidates is that, from different walks of life, all we need you to do is execute our plan. We have a great staff that supports our franchisees across the U.S. And, our CEO, Peter Ross, and co-founder mentions this very frequently and compares our model to a vehicle. We have a great car and engine, and we have oil in the engine, and we just need folks to come in and drive the vehicle and put some gas in the engine.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, why should people consider the senior care industry specifically?
So the senior care industry is booming. It's extremely busy right now, and it's growing in the future. So one of the best industries to be in my opinion, in terms of franchising. The industry is growing by 25% over the next 10 years and growing from there. So again, I'll mention our CEO, Peter Ross, and co-founder. He talks about the senior care space as a silver tsunami is coming, which is, baby boomers. There's a lot of baby boomers who are going to be retiring over the next 10, 20 years, and this space is going to be growing rapidly from there. And so you talked about the initial investment, and the nicest thing about the senior home care space is that we're providing care for seniors in their home. So if you look at the footprint of initial investment, we require a 1,000 square foot office, and you're going to hire one staff member to run the office, some computers and things like that. You will hire some caregivers that are going to work in the seniors' homes, but they only work when you have hours for them. So it's not like you have a large payroll burden. And I compare it to, the restaurant area in terms of, you're going to put a large investment to buy all the furniture, all the chairs, the equipment for the restaurant, for the kitchen. And our model is much different. So we'll talk about the average sales and things like that. But for such a low initial investment, we have such a high upside to, our model.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, what exactly does Senior Helpers do?
So we provide a variety of services for seniors in home, as I mentioned. And the main thing that we do not do is medical. So you'll find that in the senior home care medical space, where you have folks that are applying medicines, taking shots, blood pressure, it's much more regulated by the government, much more expensive. So we're in this space where we're providing in-home care for seniors. And some things that differentiate ourselves is that we focus on a wide variety of disease and chronic illness care. So we have a program, an Alzheimer's and dementia program, that no other franchise is endorsed by the Alzheimer's Foundation for America. It's an excellent program endorsed by Teepa Snow. Actually, we created it with Teepa Snow. She's a well-known occupational therapist in that space. And so the big thing that we try and do is we understand the needs of the senior through an in-home assessment. And then we make sure through the Caregiver University I mentioned previously that the caregivers have training on how to specifically work with that senior. So, if a senior comes to our office that has COPD and the caregiver doesn't have that experience, they're going to jump on the Caregiver University and get trained on how to specifically work with that senior. So very specialized, very quality care. And our disease and chronic illness focus really sets us apart. We have a Parkinson's program that nobody else has, and again, a wide variety of training in that topic. So at the basic level, we provide companionship care, and that's help around the house, activities of daily living. And then we provide support all the way up towards end-of-life scenarios where a certified nursing assistant is involved, and that's like ambulation, bed transfer, hygiene, and bathing. And, we're also providing concierge care, we call it, which is staffing for nursing facilities and things of that nature. So we cover the full gamut. In our space, it's 80 to 90% private pay, which is another benefit. You don't have to wait for the government or for insurance companies to get paid. So basically caregivers are working in seniors' homes unmonitored, and it's really important for family members, which on average are typically 300 miles away from their relative. And so, it's important to have a quality caregiver working in seniors' homes that's well-trained. We put them through the full background credit checks. They're W-2 employees and not contract labor. We make sure that they're fully trained, and we have a strong, consistent brand across the United States. And it's really important when you're connecting with family members, also referral sources, that you have such a strong brand. And we've received awards that no one else has that really set us apart in the area. Leader in Excellence, Provider of Choice, and Employer of Choice from Best of Home Care. Excellent awards that point to the quality of our service across the U.S.
Mm-hmm. So then, what type of person is ideal for this opportunity?
So we are, and I'm going to talk very briefly about our operations team here. We have an excellent support. One of our main philosophies is when you succeed, we succeed. And that is straight through all of our corporate culture, from our leadership team to our operations team. They're the best in business, in my opinion, headed by our VP of Operations, Mary Baxter. She's one of the smartest women I know. And each operations team member works with our franchisees, and we've broken down the industry into key performance indicators. And we have, again, a well put together process for starting your franchise. And we work with you closely all the way up through, running a very successful business. Our operations that are over $1 million, they still lean very heavily on our operations team. And the beauty of our model is that we can really take folks from all walks of life. And so if you find yourself more of the financial side, management side, IT, for example, we basically look at that model, and we have the franchisee focus mostly on the in-office operations. And we have a great program called Pitch Perfect Sales Training, which breaks down the industry. And like I had mentioned before, referral sources are extremely important for driving revenue. We have a robust marketing team that helps drive leads both nationally and locally to our offices. But connecting with referral sources is critical as well to grow your business. And so in the case where it's a more management-focused franchisee, we put together a custom business plan for our franchisees where they're hiring somebody to do more of the front face of the business, connecting with folks and being out in the community. And vice versa, if we have someone who's has a marketing focus, it's very sales oriented, we're going to help put together the custom business plan for staffing the office.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the typical questions franchisees have about Senior Helpers?
Yeah, I think the first and foremost is a question about the industry. Let's just use the information technology example. I manage computer teams that work on computers all day. I have zero experience in the health and medical space. How am I going to be a candidate that works? Is this something that would work for me? What's your recommendations? And so the biggest thing to know, and this kind of points back to why to get involved with a franchise to begin with, that we've again broken down the market in the industry, and we know how to run a successful business. We've done it 311 times, and we've broken it down to a science. And so people from all walks of life can become a franchisee, and they don't necessarily need the medical background or any information about our space, because we have such a great training program. So our franchisees will come to a 10-day training at our corporate office. And again, our franchise operations team will be working with a detailed checklist on how to get the office started, helping with staff member, suggestions on what staff members to hire. And, our operations team is going to be at a minimum touching base with our franchisees every month. And, the biggest thing there is that, if there's any questions about this space, we have the full team that's supporting our franchisees here at headquarters. So through all of our training and support, our franchisees do not specifically need health, experience before coming in and starting their Senior Helpers franchise.
Mm-hmm. What is the typical ramp-up time?
So typical ramp-up time, if you look at our 2017 FDD and our sales graph, on average, after 48 months, our offices are just shy of the $1 million mark. And then on average, our offices after 60 months are at $1 million. And that's our main goal, to get you over that mark. We have a ramp-up time, and we are very focused on helping our franchisees ramp up as quickly as possible. And that's why we have such detailed operations team members that are working at the beginning of the process. And, our marketing team and all of our offices are helping our franchisees ramp up as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, can you share some stories of people who've opened?
Yeah, we have, again, folks from all different backgrounds. We have offices that have just opened up in Boston area and across the U.S. And so, the biggest thing there is that, after training, our new franchisees hit the ground running. And, there's great stories of people who come from all walks of life. The folks in Boston just opened up, and they, have a sales and marketing background, and, his wife is going to be joining the business soon. And, it's just great examples of folks, whether they're, couples or doing this independently, who, are just really looking for a change. They're looking to do something new. They have, a lot of people are tired of the corporate rat race, and they, want to put their pursuits into, their own venture. And so we have a lot of success across the U.S. And, so thanks for that question.
Senior Helpers looks like a great opportunity for the right person. And I would just say that if you're listening right now and you're genuinely committed to getting a franchise, let's have a conversation and make sure that you get the right one. Because most franchises will compensate me for my time, there's no charge for my services. You can reach me at 888-627-2776 or schedule time to speak with me at speakwithlance.com.
I just want to add, too, opening a franchise is a very important and exciting time for folks. And, you're going to want to have proper guidance throughout the process. And folks like Lance, and specifically Lance, he's great in this space, an expert, and he's going to help walk you through, answer any questions, and be there really to hold your hand throughout the process. So definitely encourage you to reach out to Lance once you hear this to learn more.
Thank you, Devin. Opening a franchise can be incredible. It can give you a better quality of life and become one of the best investments you'll ever make. But just like any other investment, you don't want to go into it guessing, gambling, or blind. Not all franchises are successful. My name is Lance Hood. My services are free. Let me help you find a better franchise.